guys, welcome back to my channel, Enneagram and Coaching. I'm Hillary, a type 9 and a certified Enneagram coach. And today I have the amazing privilege of interviewing a type 3. Yay! This is Jennifer, guys. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. I'm so excited to be here again.
Yay!
Again, there is another video I highly recommend they go see.
Yep, okay. It's right there.
Yes.
Just linked it.
But in that video you learned I am a wife. I'm a mom to 4 daughters. I love putting my toes in the sand, but don't live anywhere near the ocean.
Huh.
I don't know.
I love that.
I know.
I love that.
Anyway, I'm also a certified health and life coach.
Yes.
I own my own business. It's Health Coach, the number 4 life.
Yep.
And I work with women who are done dieting.
Yes.
They want to regain trust with their own body, know what they need to eat, reduce their stress, and just feel amazing overall. That's what I do. I also have a podcast.
She does, guys. It's amazing. Yes.
It's Health, Life, and More for Women.
Love it.
And you know who's
Love
been
it.
on there talking about the Enneagram?
Woo-hoo.
This girl right here. We had so much fun in that interview.
Yes, we
And
did.
it's really just, it's literally everything. It's health stuff, it's life stuff, it's everything, it's mom stuff. It's just stuff for women to be an inspiration and encouragement. And I love that too because I'm kind of a professional talker.
You're really good at it.
And
I love it.
the podcast is perfect for that.
It is. Oh my gosh, she has an amazing podcast. I definitely will link that down below so you guys could go listen to it. Start with our video. All right, so some of you might be wondering, well, what is a type 3 on the Enneagram, right? Well, they are called the achiever, right? Or the performer. I've heard that also. At their best, they are energetic, optimistic, they're team builders, and efficient.
Highly.
At their worst, they can be overly competitive. They can be a workaholic.
A little bit.
Okay. And they can be a little vain depending on, where they are in the levels of health. The 3's motivation. You probably already know this, but they're motivated by a need to succeed.
Yes.
Okay. Appear successful.
Absolutely.
Be successful. And avoid failure at all costs. Right?
Yes.
And so that's their motivation. That's what motivates them. And I have to say, I see this in how you run your Instagram and your business. I just feel like you're so successful. And sometimes I'm looking at yours going, gosh, how does she do that every day? How do you every single day show up? Right? And it's some of that motivation.
Yeah.
You have this motivation that drives you.
Absolutely.
Which I love. So.
Well, and it's interesting though that you don't think about when you're doing all those things that it's about not failing because that's so innate to who you are because failure is not really something you want to address or go towards. It's a driving force even if it's in your subconscious. It's a driving force.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, guys. All right, so tell me, as a 3, how did you prepare for today's video and being on camera?
We're digging deep right from the get-go.
Yep.
Let's see. It had to be a good hair day. I had to wear pink because it really centers me into who I am.
It's true.
My makeup, I probably spent twice as long on.
I love that. I love that. It looks great.
And I picked my outfit out yesterday. That was my total prep about this. And I'm not gonna lie, I also went back and watched more of your videos, so I felt like I could get in the space.
Yes. I love that. I love that about you. And I also love this t-shirt. Crazy in Love.
Crazy in Love.
I love that. And it's so good. I mean, we're in February.
We are in February.
We're in the month of love, so. All right, I love that. Okay, so that's how you prepared today.
That is how I prepared for today.
I bet you so many 3s can relate.
I'm sure they might have even done more than what I did, but I have 4 kids and I was really busy doing other things.
You are
so
busy.
I literally would have probably spent more time even trying on several outfits like I did before the first video.
Oh, okay.
And not even realizing what I was doing, but I think because I also know a little bit more this time. And even since that discovery, I'm a little bit more in check with myself, but I still have a process I was going to go through.
I love it. It's one of the great things that makes you you.
Oh, thank you.
I like that. All right, so question 2 is, what do you love about being a 3?
What I love about being a 3 is that I can do what I'm doing. That I can run not just one successful business, but that I've branched that business out, that I'm also managing 4 children who are homeschooled kids.
How do you do this?
And a healthy, thriving marriage. Nothing is perfect, and I'm okay with that. But I also know that, like I said, that subconscious, that driving force is what keeps me going, and it's also what fuels the energy to be able to do those things and feel like this is what I want to be doing. I don't feel forced into it. I don't feel overwhelmed most of the time. It's when failure, I tell you what, it's when failure in any of the areas creeps in, but I don't feel overwhelmed in doing it. I feel like, well, this is me. This is just what I do.
It is. Yeah. Moving on to question 3, I want to kind of take a step back and ask, kind of address the viewers and then also you. I want to throw out some statements.
Okay.
And you and the viewers just nod your head if these resonate with you. And what this is going to do is, if you are struggling to know, like, am I actually a 3? If you say yes to a lot of these, you're more than likely a 3. So.
Oh gosh, I have to say, I am not prepared for this. And I don't like it. I don't know what you're about to say to me.
Good stuff. Here we go.
Okay,
so first question. I like to be seen in the company of successful people.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, thank you. Number 2, I'd rather lead than follow any day.
That should have been number 1.
I know.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. I love walking into a room and knowing I'm making a good first impression.
Yes.
Okay, 3 for 3.
Prep the outfit.
Right?
Okay.
Right? Number 4, I'm more adaptable than most, and if things aren't working well, I can change my behavior to get the results I want.
Oh my God.
Am I reading your mouth?
I hate when you do it, but I love when you do it.
No.
Yes.
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 Okay. Number 5, when I'm insecure, I'd rather be aloof and cool with people.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that insecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it comes out in a 3. Good?
Well, that's heavy.
I know.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. We're not unpacking. Are you nodding your head? More than likely. If you're a 3, you are. Number 6, last one.
Okay.
So not too scary.
Okay, good.
Not too scary. It can bother me when people don't acknowledge the successful things I've done.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That one hits to the core.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, words of affirmation is number 1 for me. And I think it's also because I've stepped into this space and acknowledging who I am and embracing that.
Yeah.
So when anyone gives me those words of affirmation, I might go 5'2". I might not be 5'1" anymore.
You might, right?
Yeah.
Sit up a little straighter.
Yeah.
It's very important to a 3. And my recommendation to those that are watching that actually have a 3 in their life, realize this, right? She just said it's her love language. Words of affirmation. And most 3s, a lot of 3s, I won't say most, but I've heard that from a lot of 3s, that words of affirmation is their number 1 love language. Don't hold back. Give it. And give it with love, because it's so important to them and it causes them to feel loved.
Yeah.
And that's important.
And be specific.
Yeah.
Can we be specific?
Yeah.
Because we've worked so hard on that thing. We've put
good.
so much of us in there. When you're specific in the acknowledgement piece.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh.
It keeps you going.
Yes.
It helps a 3 to get up the next day and do it again.
Absolutely.
So it's so important, guys. And I know some people feel like, oh, they don't care. Like my words wouldn't matter to them. Clearly they matter.
Absolutely.
And it's a way to love better. And so just take this to heart and maybe rewind. Is rewind a word in YouTube world? Maybe skip back a little and write those down, because those are important ways to love a 3 better.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So good.
Good.
So good.
All right, so moving on to the next question. Was there an expectation as a child to perform? Was there an expectation to where you felt like maybe you had to put on an act? Some examples would be like to get good grades, or did you feel more valued for what you did versus who you were?
I would say that's probably true. And, even as you were asking that, I'm trying to evaluate, was it true across the board for my siblings?
Right.
And I'm a middle child, but I'm an oldest girl. Okay, so I really am trying to think, gosh, did they just have that? But the thing is, I've always been an achiever.
Right.
So because I'm always an achiever, those things seem to stand out. My grades, what I was involved in, and that I was being acknowledged for doing the things outside of even my family, that piece was valued.
Yeah,
I do think that's true, and that both of my siblings have sort of took a different path at that point.
Right.
I was the achiever.
And here's what I'd like to say to threes, and to actually all types, is God made you this way. That's why you and your siblings do not show up to the world the same, right? God put this in your spirit. It's a beautiful thing, and that's why you showed up the way you did versus what they did.
Yeah.
It's usually just how you're seeing the world, and you're hearing things with a different lens than if they were to say, just for an example, if your parents were to say the exact same thing to your siblings, they have a different lens on.
Yeah.
It's not they're not looking for that, right? And as a kid, you were like, okay, every time I perform, I get a good job. So I'm gonna do it more, right? And then as an adult, we leave that and we realize that while that's important, that's not who you are. And I know this about you. You've learned to embrace who you are without your accomplishments. You know who you are, and you love who you are without the accomplishments. Those are just, extra.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
I think that's true. And this is why I believe the Enneagram, though, for parents is crucial. Because again, if that had been acknowledged in me, that it was okay to embrace being an achiever.
Yeah.
That it was okay that I enjoyed striving. I wasn't valued any differently than my siblings for being the one who did that.
Right.
But gosh, this is where I think the Enneagram can change your parenting. It really can enhance how your children view themselves as you view them.
Yes. Yeah. It's true. I have a type 3 for a son, and I have had the Enneagram, as a tool for quite a few years. And so I have been able to, give him the affirmation he wants, but also always make sure to let him know that our love is never dependent on his accomplishments, right? Yeah. And I don't know if I would have known to do that, because there is a certain pattern you can fall into where, especially for a type 3, he loves it when I tell him good job, but it's important not to stop at that.
Right.
Because those are important too. Affirmation is super important, but it's important not to always just recognize the achievement and not the person.
Right. And I think that's the big difference is, as a kid, if you don't know any of this, right, even as a teenager, you don't know this, you associate the praise with the thing you did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So. All right, so my next question has to do with the wings of a 3.
Okay.
And I actually believe we might have answered this a little bit in the other video.
Yeah, we did.
I think we did. So let's go ahead and go into it a little more.
All right.
But the wings of a 3, especially for those that don't know the wings yet. So the 3 with the 2 wing, they are called the star. They're warmer, more encouraging, social, popular. They love being the center of attention. Need I say more?
Nope.
We know what our wing is. And then the 3 with the 4 wing, they're professional. They're more focused on work, success, and introspection. They are more sensitive and artistic and imaginative. And, I kind of see that play out a little bit, in you. I would guess it's the 3 too.
Definitely a 3-2.
Yeah, she's definitely a 3-2. And I know I linked the video already, and so if you go back and watch it, you'll hear a little bit more on that. But in that previous video, she thought she might be a 2.
Right.
Right? And in the end, she actually was a type 3 with a 2.
Which made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And I think because, and this is just my heart tells me I want to be the 2.
Yeah.
Like I want to have all those good pieces of the 2. Forget anything that's, a struggle for a 2.
Right.
I just want all those good pieces because that feels good and it feels true to who I am.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel like, I don't have to worry about the achievement part and the failure part when you're a 2.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good. The funny thing is most 2s that I meet don't even want to be 2s.
Really?
I'm dead serious. Wow. They're like, so a good friend of mine, she's a 2, and she always says, I don't want to be the helper. But that's, sometimes, that's when you're like, oh, I don't want to be that. It's usually who you are. And like you with the 3, you're like, that's usually a telltale sign.
Yeah.
But all right, so the life lesson for a 3 is to reclaim the truth that love comes to you because of who you are, not what you do. This is a deep longing for a 3. How does that show up for you?
I feel like that's what shifted for me, is acknowledging that it's not what I'm doing. And so often I kept getting into that pattern where if I didn't do it, if I didn't achieve the thing, that was what I attributed to failure.
Yeah.
And then of course it attacked me in my spirit, like in my soul, like who I was. And the way I see it now is I can actually feel like I can separate the two things in the things that I'm doing over here. And if that fails, that can be the thing that fails. Not me that fails.
There you go. That is the key right there.
Yeah. I wish the 27-year-old me would have had that lesson.
Right.
Right? I mean, I don't think I was ready at 27 to receive it. And I always go to 27, that just seems to be this pivotal time for a woman to kind of go through, but getting to 30 and there's this shift that happens. Okay. Like I find that that's true for a lot of women.
Yeah.
And the 27-year-old me was searching for that truth.
Yeah.
Because at that point it still was so combined, especially as a mom.
Yeah.
Right? And being a mom, it was my full-time job was being a mom. So if you fail at being a mom, you are a failure. And I just struggled in that place until literally it was like God had taken it and separated the two and helped me see how they're two different things.
Yeah. And
that I can work on improving the thing I feel like it's failing.
Yeah. While
I'm whole over here.
Yeah.
And then that piece, which, you can have an aha moment, but if you don't do the work in it, which is, I believe, like what my 30s were. Yeah. They were doing the work on those two things to get to the place where I feel like confident in, I'm going to attack that, but it's not attacking me.
That's so good. Yeah, that is such good truth.
I believe it.
Especially if you're type 3. All types really, but especially if you're 3.
Yeah, especially because it's achievement based.
Yeah, because it's achievement based, so. Love it. All right, so the next question I have for you is, do you have a life verse? And if you do, what is it?
I do have a life verse. It's Philippians 4:19. My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus. Yeah.
When did you get that verse? Like, how old were you?
I was probably 24, 25. Okay. And what triggered it was when we had kids. And that feeling of I can't do it on my own, I can't do it on my own, I can't make it, achievement issues. That verse was gifted to me, that I can't do it on my own, that I only can do it because God gives me the ability to do it.
Well, I love that life verse, and I love that you got it in your 20s and that you've held on to it. I mean, and that's what carries you through.
Yeah.
When anything comes, you can go and you can hold on to that verse.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. All right, so my last question for you is, how has the Enneagram helped you?
Well, if I haven't made it clear already right in here, and I just discovering it first of all, right? When I took this online quiz, right, which are available, and why I feel so adamant you need a coach who knows it like you to walk someone through it. And I know ours was a very shortened time, but feeling like there's words to what I believe and feel. Right. Like it articulates it in a way, like you always say, like you're reading my mail. Yeah. Yeah. Having the words, it almost feels validating. Yeah. It almost feels like it's okay. You know, when you spend so many years almost fighting who you are. Right. And then you get to embrace it and you get to just live it out because there's beauty in it. That's what the Enneagram does. It again, I go back to that same word, it's freeing. Yeah. It's freeing to embrace who you are and know that God created all of that. And he doesn't make mistakes and he doesn't, you know, make you someone you're not. Right. Like I picture there was all that forming and you spend all these years trying to deny who that is. And what the Enneagram did is go, but that's who you are, and there's beauty in that, and there's power in that, and there's freedom in that. That's, oh my gosh, that's what I love about it. And that's how it has affected not just me as Jen, but me in my business, me in pursuing new things, that it's okay to want to strive for those things. And again, to pull apart the failure piece, to pull apart what I'm striving for and still be okay with this is who I am.
Yeah. Oh, that is so beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that. And it's so true. And I love that it's given you new language. And it's given you, my favorite part ever, and you said this, is that it's helped you to fall in love with who you are. And that's important.
So important.
It's so important to love who you are and not want to be somebody else.
Right.
We need to love ourselves because everyone else is taken.
That's so good. Everyone else is taken.
Yeah.
I literally would not be here if I did not embrace who I am.
I love that. I love how you show up to life. And I love how you show up with all of you and who you are. And you're like, it's the good, bad, and ugly. This is me.
Yes.
And that's how we need to be authentic. We need to be real, you know? And not in that false sense where we're like, oh, this is just my mask I wear. It's like, take off that mask and just be free to be you.
Yes.
So, I love it. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for today. My interview with you, the type 3 Jen, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for coming on for a second time. It was just as fun, if not more, than the first time.
I have to say, I think more.
I think
so much more fun anytime. I love this.
Thank you.
I love it, and I love being able to bless somebody else out there who stumbled across this even and went, oh my goodness, that's me too.
Yes. I love it. Well, why don't you let them know where they can find you? I will link it below, but give them your website and your podcast.
Absolutely.
How can they find you?
Absolutely.
And Instagram.
All the things.
All the things.
I'm pretty much everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, you can find me on Instagram, which is so fun to connect on there, what Hillary's talking about on my mad marketing skills. Jennifer_health coach, 4 life. That's how you can find me on Instagram. You know, my website is the same name. It's healthcoach4life.com. I have a great freebie for anyone wanting to tap back into their intuition when it comes to hunger.
Yes. And then go check that out.
My podcast, Health, Life, and More for Women. It is on Spotify and on iTunes. So if you have Android, if you have Apple, it doesn't matter. You can listen.
Perfect. I love it. And it's all linked below, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe. It means the world to me. And please give it a thumbs up. And until next time.
Yes.
Bye, guys. No Jenny from the block.
No Jenny from the block. You're me.
Nope. I'm way taller than you, but there's nothing I can do about that.
But you're way taller than me, period. Like, you can't change it.
I can't change that, right? I'm 6 feet tall, guys.
I think that was great.
Awesome!
I feel our energy is up and we are ready.
Have you watched the show Cheer?
No!
It's so good. It's like, I've been watching it way too much. All right, so a little house cut. Oh my gosh. All right.
I love that you say you love it so much because I feel so loved.
I love it. I love it
today.
I love everything. Oh my gosh, you're doing amazing.
Okay.
You're doing amazing, girl.
You're amazing.
That was good.
Oh.
High five.
Oh.
That was amazing.
I just know you were going to say failure and it was going to make me want to throw up.
Okay, we'll dig into that later.